It's the Married with Channels podcast. Hello, I'm Moose.
I'm Jodie.
Hi.
Hey.
We're married.
Yep.
We do talk about TV shows and movies. Special edition, I guess. Today's our 15th anniversary.
Yeah. We did that.
Word it up. Congratulations.
Congratulations. We've made it.
I love you.
I love you.
We're going to spend the next 15, 20 minutes just talking about how much we love each other.
Oh, fantastic.
Let me start first. I love your booty. In your mind.
Thank you. Yes.
I love you. Happy anniversary,
I love you.
darling.
Thank you.
Let's get to it.
Happy anniversary to you, too.
Thank you, darling. Thank you, my love. I love you so much. Let's talk about TV shows and movies. We start with Severance, the Apple TV Plus show with Adam Scott. This is, I know this is spearheaded a lot by Ben Stiller, who directed a few episodes and is a producer on it. And yeah, so this finished up in April of 2022. So I don't think we need to do spoiler warnings here, but there will be some if you haven't watched it. So basically the premise is Adam Scott is this guy who's a widower. He works at this job doing some menial shit in a cubicle. And the catch is this company has developed this thing called Severance, where essentially when you come into work, you forget everything about your real life. You don't know who you're married to. You don't know if you have kids. You know, they have the special technology, an implant in the brain,
Yeah.
And so you get into some kind of moral questions about whether or not that's okay. And it's shot very, I don't want to say gloomy, but very sterile feeling.
Sure. I think gloomy is appropriate because I kind of get that gloomy feel more than sterile, but
yeah, even when they're not in the workplace, outside in their real lives, it's cold. There's snow everywhere. Everybody's wearing winter boots.
It's kind of dark.
It's dark. Yeah, it's definitely not a happy-go-lucky show. And
even during daylight hours, it's got kind of that gloomy, overcast feel to it.
Right.
So,
and it's very, it's like interesting because the company is this massive, we'll say tech company, but we don't know what they produce.
Yeah.
They have pictures of smiles in this one secret room, and they have mannequins / statues of former founders and presidents of the company, and there's almost like this cult worship thing going on.
Yeah, it's very strange, and like they have a break room where they kind of brainwash, I would say. Like it's kind of like a torture interrogation tactic to make them kind of stay in line, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's not a break room in the sense that we know break room.
Yeah.
Not a break from work. It's a break of your mind. Like if you're getting out of line, maybe you're sassing off, they might send you to the break room where you sit down with this woman and she gives you these very vague general questions and reaffirming words and phrases.
Yeah, and you have to say this statement out loud, and maybe that's like how they program the chip or something to get them to
so
kind
anyway,
of stay subdued in their roles in this company that we don't know what is for.
Yeah, and so we have this 4 central characters who are they're going along with it, and as the season goes on, they all start to kind of question things, especially our protagonist, Adam Scott's character. I forget his character's name, but
it's Mark Scout.
Mark.
Yeah.
Right. So he starts to really question things. This book written by his brother-in-law is snuck into the workplace somehow, and he's reading it, and it's very like, don't be a lemming, be yourself, find
it's like a self-help book, right? Yeah.
And again, that's his brother-in-law.
Yeah.
But interesting show. I like it. It's one of those shows that I think I have to be in the mood to watch.
Yeah.
Because it deals with there's some sorrow there, his wife passed away. And, and this whole, I'm uncomfortable a little bit with the whole mindless worker drone thing.
Right.
I'm very much anti-corporate guy. And to me, the fact that somebody willingly participates in a thing that wipes out all of your memory and knowledge of who you are, other than your work self, is just, it's almost kind of profound and shaking for me.
It is kind of out there. The thing of it, too, that we should mention is that when they go home from the workplace at night, their regular lives and memories are restored.
Yeah. They go in this elevator, and once they go in, the elevator wipes their mind to work mode.
Yeah.
Their innie, as they call it.
Yeah.
And then when they leave, the elevator does the opposite. It wipes their innie away and turns on their outie mode.
Yeah, which I'm like, if you're trying to escape something painful in your life, like maybe that would drive you to choose this procedure, this severance. But it doesn't really accomplish that because you still have to go home in the evening and be with that. So I kind of don't understand the character's choice to do this willingly, I guess.
I do, in the sense that it gives him 8 hours of relief of having to think about his dead wife.
Sure.
And so I get that. But at the same time, and I think that's kind of one of the questions the show tackles is, dealing with grief. Do you compartmentalize it and put it away, or do you dive into it and deal with it, address it, and work it out?
Sure.
And this show, the characters obviously, well, one of them anyway, I know the motivations for the other characters. One of them is, at least we think, deciding to, I just want to check my brain. I don't want to deal with it for at least 8 hours.
Sure.
So.
Maybe so. Okay. I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a good show, good cast.
Yeah.
You got Adam Scott, John Turturro's in there, Christopher Walken a little bit, Patricia Arquette. It's very well done. And it brings up some interesting questions. We talked about grief and all that. The obvious one is the work-life balance. Where do you draw the line? Is it making a statement about how we all work too much and are too available? I could see maybe the benefit of having a work day where you're working and then you go home and you are not working at all. Like when he's in outie mode, Mark, he's not going to get a call from his work people.
Sure.
That's just not a thing.
Sure.
I can see the benefits of that.
There are jobs out there like that. Like, I leave my work at work.
Yes. Yeah, maybe I've just been in a previous job where that wasn't the case.
Absolutely. I would agree with that.
So do you like Severance?
Yeah, I do. There is a little kind of plot sticking point that I'm not sure I understand. And that is Patricia Arquette's character. And
yeah, she's definitely not severed.
Right. No, I get that. But I mean, the plot hole I'm referring to?
The fact that they fired her.
Yes.
And yet after being fired, she is so set to, bottom line, the four main characters have made a plan and enacted a plan where their innies will be awake on the outside.
Right.
And she finds out, and she's just running through red lights, driving 100 miles per hour in her car to help stop them.
Yes, but what's beyond that is she's still playing along with the characters in the outie world as if she were still spying on them. She goes to this book reading and,
it's
I don't know what Mark's family there. And I'm kind of confused by her.
So your issue is, why is she still putting on the facade?
Yeah.
When she's been fired. And also, and we talked about this, why does she care so much about stopping them from their innies being on the outside? Unless
it's truly criminal and she could get into a lot of trouble for it.
No, that's probably the first time we thought of that is, she might be, if it is illegal, she's definitely complicit.
Yeah.
She can go down with the company.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's one theory I had. But
that makes sense.
I don't know, but it bothers me because it's you just got fired. Why do you care?
I know. But I think the bigger question with her is, why is she, A, not severed, and B, essentially spying on Mark? Mm-hmm. She literally lives next to him as Mrs.
Solvig.
Yeah. Yeah. But at work, she's Mrs. Coble.
Yeah.
So what's that about?
Or Selvig. I'm not sure what her name is.
Bottom line, it's a different person.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so why is she out spying on him and or the other ones? So maybe that'll be addressed in season 2.
Maybe.
Season 1 ended with a nail biter where, again, the innies are out in the world. And spoiler alert, Helly is she is like the daughter of the guy who founded the company.
She's the granddaughter of the founder. Yeah.
And she's going to give a speech in front of all these bigwigs,
senators, high profile people. Party, yeah.
And theoretically, she's supposed to speak as her outie person, saying how great the Severance is, but she is an innie, and she's about to blow the lid off.
My name is Helly R. I'm an innie. And everything they told you about Severance is a lie. Get in! No. Listen, we're not happy. We're miserable. They torture us down there. Damn it! Please! We're prisoners! She's alive!
And soon before that, we found out that Mark's dead wife is actually alive, and she's Miss Casey in the building, who's kind of like an HR type person.
No, she's like the therapist.
Okay, therapist. Yeah, I mean, she's Miss Casey, and he's had to do a break room with her once, bumped into her hallway maybe twice. So,
and she was tasked with following Helly around as well. So.
Yeah, and soon before that, she got fired.
Yeah,
and was escorted through this door, this hallway that Irving was painting. Like, he's doing these in his outie world. He's painting this door and hallway repetitively, finding anything he can paint it on. So interesting. I look forward to season 2.
Yeah,
see where they go with that. See what happens when they switch them off in their outie world.
Yeah,
probably not much will happen, but we'll see.
I don't know. I think enough damage was done that it'll be interesting.
The corporate juggernaut will spin that and fix it. Oh, she just had too many margaritas, folks. Let's move on to a returning show that we liked called The White Lotus, season 2.
Yeah.
Whole new locale. They're in Sicily, Italy now, which I'm a little bummed by. Like, I like it back in Hawaii days. Yeah, keep them there. I like the Hawaii setting that was in the first season, of course.
Sure.
And, but this is good.
Yeah.
I'm digging this so far.
I think, the scenery was a bonus in the last one, but the characters and the story and how that was all going to play out was very intriguing.
Yeah.
As it got going. But I'm not watching this one for the location.
I mean, you kind of are, though. I mean, it's nice to see some Italian countryside and the villas and all that.
Sure.
And again, this show deals with a lot of interesting characters. And I think the first season started the same way, where there was like a dead body or some sort of because they were at the airport and they watched a body in a body or coffin be loaded onto a plane, and then it flashed back to 13 weeks earlier.
What happened?
Whatever. Same here.
Yep.
But interesting stories with these characters. You got Michael Imperioli. I called him Christopher because of his Soprano days.
Absolutely.
He's now playing the father of a 20-something-year-old. You've got some other characters like this kind of tech millionaire guy who brought his friend along and his wife, who's kind of a wet blanket, played by
Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza, thank you.
Yep.
And some other characters, and it's all kind of interesting. They're all interesting. They all have their own motivations for why they're there and what they're doing. They have their little quirks. The one I'll play for you here is F.Murray Abraham as the grandfather Bert, who's he's like flirting with every Italian girl. This girl comes up to escort them to their hotel room, and he's flirting with her.
This character cracks me up.
Northern look, beautiful hazel eyes, wonderful smile.
You're very kind.
You must be very popular.
All right, Dad. Anyway, we're here because we're going to visit the town my grandmother's from.
Oh.
It's a little town, Testa dell'Acqua.
Yeah, that sounds very special.
Hopefully, we can find some people there who can speak English.
Not the Not the only time Bert will pass gas in this episode.
That character cracks me up. He's just does not care. No filter. And whatever.
I said this the other night. It bears repeating. F.Murray Abraham is having a renaissance.
Yeah.
Between this and his part in Mythic Quest, which is an Apple TV show that I think people should check out.
Yeah.
There's a couple episodes on that show with him that are just like, so brilliant.
Yeah, he's good. It's funny.
But he's having a moment, and he's delivering on White Lotus, too. It's so funny to see the old man flirting with the woman who's like a fourth of his age.
Yes. And he does that little like...
Creepy old creep. But the White Lotus season 2, it's shaping up to be interesting. I find myself fascinated with most of these characters, you know. I mean, there's even little moments where you're like, wonder what's going to go on here. Like when Aubrey Plaza's character goes to get some trunks for her husband's college buddy, who's the tech billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
And she's getting sunscreen in the bathroom. And so tech guy is just stripping down behind her, putting on the trunks that he's borrowing. Like, no big deal. Schlong's hanging out. He's not like flirting with her in any way.
Right.
And so your mind is like, okay. And she's kind of looking.
Yeah.
Like, she's going back and forth between that look of, what the fuck is he doing?
Right.
And also like, So you're kind of like, are they going to hook up? But then it's like, she reveals it to her husband later on in bed, like, hey, he did this and it was weird. And it was just kind of, well, that's that.
Well, it's kind of uncomfortable to see a friend naked.
It totally is.
You're friends. Like, you
but it's not even like a friend, though. They're not friends.
No, not even. Yeah. Which makes it even weirder. Yeah. Like, you know, they're not close friends and they haven't spent a lot of time together. So I don't know. That's odd to me. But some people have no shame with nudity. They don't care.
Yeah.
They'll get naked in front of anybody.
I think the show, what I'm interested to see is what they do with, sorry, still dealing with the cough. With Jennifer Coolidge's character and her husband.
Yeah.
He's the guy from last season that she was hooking up with at the hotel. They got married. So she, overhears him on the phone whispering something. And he says, oh, it's a work thing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you're sleeping, so I wanted to, anyway. So I'm curious to see what'll happen there. I think the obvious answer is he's got some chick on the side.
I think it's some shady business deals and he's going to take all of her money.
There's that too, yeah.
That's my theory about that.
Yeah, like I could see the motivation from season 1. He just goes to these high-end resorts to find some sugar mama to maybe latch onto. But I didn't see a lot of, and I'm trying to remember back to season 1, that character didn't seem like he was really aggressively pursuing her.
No.
It seemed kind of almost the other way. Mm-hmm. Like she was more onto him than he was onto her.
Maybe that's what works for him, though.
Maybe that's
maybe that's his play.
He cast that dick spell, that old guy dick spell that Bert wants.
I will say that character is very naive and Jennifer Coolidge's character. She's very naive and trusting of people, and she doesn't really vet people. She doesn't have that sense of like, oh, I better have my guard up for a while, with people. So I wouldn't be surprised if she gets swindled here.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think of what else here. It's good to see Michael Imperioli. It doesn't seem like he's been around very often over the last 20 some years since Sopranos. I mean, little things here and there. But,
sure.
What do you think the draw is of White Lotus?
I think it's the story. There's a mystery there. There, kind of always. Yeah. And, you get those relationship stories that kind of run alongside the main kind of mystery.
Yeah, and what's interesting, and I'm going by the first season as well, they don't give you who the dead person or persons are.
Right.
They just show you that there's a dead person or persons. Like in this season, they just showed some feet and the backside. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know who's dead, and we don't know who was at least related to the killing of them or the death. So that's interesting, right? You don't get a whodunit where you don't know who the body is.
Sure.
At least as an audience. But yeah, I think I think the draw is that. And I think you got some good characters.
Absolutely.
It's interesting to see these different characters interacting because they eventually interact with one another to varying degrees. But I like White Lotus.
I do too.
Yeah. Looking forward to the next episode.
Yeah.
which will drop this coming weekend. Anything else on White Lotus, my love?
Nope.
My love. You are the most... Okay. And we'll wrap it up real quick. A post-Halloween movie called The Black Phone. You did not see this.
No, I did not watch this.
I watched it. I've been watching a couple scary movies without you because you're not a fan.
Sure, but I did kind of do a little homework on this one. So,
and also I didn't bring it up to you because I think the subject matter might bother you.
Yeah, I definitely read the kind of plot summary and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I could watch that. It's not for me.
Yeah, it's and trust me, I was kind of hesitant too, but The Black Phone, basically, it's set in the 70s, anywhere's USA. I don't even know where they're at. I want to say Colorado. But
yes,
there's
Denver.
There's this guy called the Grabber who's been snatching up young boys off the street. And a couple of kids have gone missing and never to return. We focus on this one boy, Finn, who eventually gets grabbed up by the Grabber. And he is in the soundproof holding area basement that the Grabber puts him, and there's a black phone on the wall. It's not connected. It doesn't work, but eventually it rings and he's able to talk to some of the Grabber's victims, and the victims give him tips on how to get out and or defeat the Grabber.
Oh, interesting.
It's an interesting concept and it works really well.
I did not know that was Ethan Hawke either.
I know. And that's the other thing.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Ethan Hawke plays the Grabber, and this is like his second bad guy role in the last year. He was in Moon Knight. He was the bad guy there. And Ethan Hawke pulls off a very good bad guy. And this movie is good. It's very well paced. It's not very scary. There's a couple scary moments, like tense moments, I'll say. But it's definitely not scary. There's no flagrant gore or, hurting kids scene. It's all implied.
Okay.
It's all like, you see it off screen. It's not seen. It's off screen, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Some sad stuff, but interesting movie. And I think it's worth a watch if you're into something that's kind of intense, that is maybe a little different. I liked it.
All right.
Yeah, and the masks are creepy as hell. So yeah, go check out The Black Phone. Go check out Severance. Go check out White Lotus 2, Season 2.
Or 1 if you haven't seen that one either.
Yeah, and that's the thing with White Lotus. I don't think you need to watch 1 to watch 2. I think you should.
Sure.
Because it's good.
Absolutely.
But yeah, all good stuff here this week. Anything else?
Nope, that'll do it.
Just want to leave it on Happy Anniversary.
Happy Anniversary.
We love each other.
We do.
That's going to do it for us. This is the Married with Channels podcast. Please subscribe. Please give us a good review. That helps other people find the podcast.
Share. Tell your friends.
Absolutely. Until next time, I'm Moose.
And I'm Jodie.
We'll see you.
Bye.